Hello everyone! Today in this video I am going to be talking to you about moisturizing very dry, very brittle natural hair. It's some effective tips and strategies just to ensure that you get really plump, juicy, natural curls in your natural hair regime. So, before I get started into two major components that I use to moisturize my hair daily, I just want to talk about some tips and principles of how to effectively moisturize the hair. And moisture just meaning to make something, especially your skin or epidermis, less dry. So just stick with me for this video and hopefully by the end of it you get some useful tips for you. A lot of these might be common knowledge, but sometimes it's really good just to get a reminder of the basics, the principles. You get so caught up in all these fancy new hair products and all these things that are launched on the market, and sometimes it's just the simple techniques and the basic practices that we should be doing time and time again to help just ensure that you're getting moisture in your hair. Alrighty, so let's get to it. So, one of my first tips I'm going to talk about briefly is one of the main moisturizers for our system in general that's naturally available to us. Well, available to most of us, not all of us in large quantities, but water is one of the best hydrators on earth, and it is a fantastic thing that you should be drinking daily. Now, I am not great at this principle as well. I definitely need to up the intake of how much water I drink, but definitely you should be hydrating your body internally first. A lot of the things that will help you as far as making your appearance look more hydrated, more luminous, and helping your organs like your skin and helping your nails and helping your hair growth and things like that all start from what you ingest. So water being one of the best hydrators available to you naturally on the planet is definitely something you should get in the habit of drinking. Now, the daily requirements for water differs from who you speak to, but I would say just make it a part of your day to drink water, even though it may seem really boring and not that provocative of a tip. I would say just try to up your water intake internally and you will definitely see the results externally. I definitely have been upping my intake of water, and even if water is not your favorite thing to drink, you find it too bland, there are things you can do to jazz it up a bit. And outside of water as well, you can even be drinking clear fluids that have a lot of antioxidant benefits or have a lot of nutrient properties, like herbal teas, for example. Herbal teas is another great way that I find that I can hydrate myself internally. You know, white teas or peppermint teas or red rooibos teas. Teas like that have a lot of nutritional benefits in it, very antioxidant rich, and on top of all that, it can actually help with hair growth as well, and just keeping the body well hydrated, helping to flush out some of the toxins that we will ingest day in and day out, and helping to clear out the gut and things like that. So definitely a tip. I know it's not rocket science. I know many of you who would be watching this video will say, well, of course I know bad to drink water. Everyone says that, but it really does help. So I highly encourage you, if you're not someone that likes to drink a lot of water or a lot of fluids, definitely get into habit of doing that, and that will definitely help with moisturization of hair. Some other tips that I want to just go over briefly as well. Take a look at your wash day routine. Really see if it's actually working for you. I really like to preach about less is more and not becoming a product junkie and just going out and buying tons and tons of products that are just oversaturating the hair or just layering on top of a lot of unnecessary ingredients and requirements. Me, myself, I have a lot of products I have to get through and a lot of products in my stash that I'd like to dwindle down. Even though I've given away and things like that, I still have a lot to get through. But in any case, less is more, I find, when it comes to your wash day and just really take a closer look and see if maybe the shampoos that you're using or the shampoo or cleanser that you're using is too stripping for the hair. Take a look at the conditioner that you're using. Do you find that maybe it's not really moisturizing that much? The deep conditioner that you might be using, do you find that it's not really emollient rich? If you're looking at the ingredients list at the back, if you're finding that a lot of the ingredients that are in it are long-winded manufactured chemicals that you really don't know what its purpose in the product is for. If you're finding that a lot, that might be the culprit as to why you're continuously dealing with dry, parched, brittle hair. Sometimes it's just going back to the basics, getting basic ingredients, getting products that aren't overwhelming and that are just simplistic. A lot of the times you can get really special fancy moisturizers that have all these amazing promises, but if your hair care practices during your wash day are hindering your moisture levels, whatever moisturizers you use daily are not really going to help you in the long term. I find that if your hair has been properly cleansed, it has been properly conditioned with good ingredients, then you will be able to retain moisture levels for longer periods of time, barring any damage to the hair that you're unaware of. Another tip I would say is if you find that your hair is really dry and really brittle and it's not really responding well to treatments, then maybe it's time for you to clarify the hair. Sometimes there might be a lot of butters in the hair that are leaving leftover residue. There might be conditioners that you're using that have a ton of silicones, which silicones can be great. They can help coat the hair, fill in the gaps, and help the hair to be pliable and soft. But then at the same time, it can also leave a lot of deposits on the hair and it's not going to rinse out right away with just any regular cleanser. So sometimes you might need a clarifying treatment. So that also might be a factor. So definitely look into clarifying the hair at least once a month if you can, or whenever possible. And that might just be like the reset button to your hair, just to allow it to bring back moisture in the hair. So those are just some tips to think about as far as getting moisture outside of having to buy specifically formulated moisturizers or moisturizing products. So just look at your regular routine right now, just kind of break it down, see if the products that you're actually using during your wash day are actually helping you out and actually making sure that your hair is being properly hydrated. And now, just to take a step further and to say what can you do on a daily basis or every other day basis just to keep the moisture levels in your hair and to keep your hair really soft and pliable, is mainly just using a water-based product and oil. So I have two examples right here on the table. So I have this little squirt bottle and it is from, well, the original bottle is from Alake Naturals. It's their leave-in conditioner. It is really great, but this has been done a long time ago. So what's actually inside this bottle is distilled water and a couple of essential oils, and that is it. So I have distilled water, I have peppermint oil, I think I have eucalyptus oil in this as well, a little bit of tea tree oil, and lavender oil. So each one of those essential oils that I put in this water bottle were maybe a couple of drops at most. And then there's distilled water, and I filled it up to the top, and then I shake it. And then every other day I just uncap it and just spritz my hair a little bit. And it just smells amazing. It's great. And again, because water is one of the best hydrators on the planet, I find that it is super moisturizing and it just brings back the moisture levels into my hair. Oh, I think I'm forgetting one other ingredient. I have a little bit of aloe vera juice. So it's 3 parts water, distilled water, and 1 part aloe vera juice with some essential oils. And the aloe vera is just gonna act as another hydrating agent that can soothe and calm the scalp as well. So that's just it in this little bottle here. And it's so travel friendly that I can throw it into my purse any day I want. And then if during the day, if I want to spritz my hair here and there, then I can. It's great. The second thing I have to show is an oil. The oil can be any of your choice. It doesn't have to be a specific oil. Whatever carrier oil that you like best. You want a sealant to go with a hydrator. So the hydrator being the water-based spray I have here. And then the oil that I have of choice here is pure red raspberry seed oil. Now this oil in particular is incredible. It is probably one of the highest packed oils with antioxidants on the market right now. It is incredibly light, not a really strong scent, and on top of that, it actually can act as a natural SPF as well. Not that you should be using raspberry seed oil as a sunblock alone, of course, but it does have naturally occurring properties in it that actually do help with SPF. And it's an incredible oil, and it just really helps to soften the skin and to soften the hair, and it helps to moisturize as well. And a lot of people are under the belief that oils cannot be moisturizing, and they absolutely can be. They can be. They're just not hydrating. Water would be your hydrator. This oil would be the sealant. So once you spray the hair a little bit, you can just take a couple of drops of the oil, rub it in the palm, and then just kind of pat into the hair as well, and just seal in that moisture that you just put into the hair. That's it essentially. That is the main properties of what you should be thinking about as far as moisturizing the hair for a daily basis. It shouldn't be so difficult to maintain a moisture balance. If you find that the steps that I revealed today are not helpful in any way, and you find that your hair is still really dry and parched, maybe it's time to see a beautician or see a dermatologist or someone with some medical training and background that deal with hair. But I believe for the most part, if you're following basic simple steps, you have a healthy diet, you're ingesting water on a daily basis, you're ingesting, clear fluids, keeping your body hydrated, and the fluids being something as beneficial and nutritious as herbal teas and things of that line, and you just use simple water and oil, it should be helpful as far as maintaining the moisture balance in your hair. Yes, thank you for taking the time to watch this video today. I hope everything goes well in your hair care journey, and I hope to see you in the next video. Alrighty, bye.